Good morning, YouTube. What's going on with you? It's your man's Ken Jackson. This is the Ken Jackson Experience. Oh man, lots happened in the past 48 hours. Donald Trump has attacked Iran, thrusting us into the middle of the Israeli-Iranian conflict. After this idiot campaigned on no more wars. In fact, out of his own mouth said it would only be a stupid person to get involved in another Middle Eastern war. So Donald Trump, what are you stupid? Obviously. But anyway, here we are. What's next? Reports are out now that the Fordo nuclear facility wasn't damaged that bad. The bunker busters didn't make it deep enough to shut it down. So does that mean Trump's going to order another strike? I don't know. I mean, it would seem that he would have to now that he's fully committed. And he said that he was going to destroy Iran's capacity for producing a nuclear weapon. Well, the simple fact that Donald Trump ordered an attack in the middle of negotiations, ongoing negotiations, proves the reason why Iran probably needs to have a nuclear weapon to protect themselves from us, as a lot of other countries who wanted nuclear weapons have claimed that they need protection from the United States. And I can't dispute that, honestly. I'm a veteran, love my country, love the United States. This is where I was born and raised. However, I do know that we do a lot of dirty shit all around the world in the name of freedom and democracy and capitalism. It's all about the money, y'all. It's all about money and power and controlling the black and brown people of the world. That's what it really is. I found out some interesting news yesterday that I never knew. Benjamin Netanyahu is not Jewish. He's not Arab. He's not Middle Eastern at all. He's Polish. And I found out that every Israeli president prior to him were either Polish, Slavic, or German. And they changed their names to sound more Hebrew. Think about that. Think about that. Yiddish, which today's Jews speak, is a Germanic language. It's not a Semitic language. And if you understand Semitism and Semites, you'll know that the Semitic tribes were classified as Semitic based on their languages. Yiddish was not one of those languages. Hebrew, the Hebrew language was. A lot of these new Jews speak Hebrew because they were taught to speak Hebrew growing up. But they're not true Hebrews. And it's a shame. It's a shame, the deception that has gone on for centuries, that has caused all of the conflicts that we're involved in today. But again, it's all about power. It's all about money. Think about this. The Zionist state of Israel, okay? First of all, what it means to be Zionist. Zionists were the number one advocates for having a Jewish state. Okay? Now, and they try to use biblical history as a means for supporting their argument that Israel has a right to exist. Well, in the Bible, the nation of Israel was not a country. It was not a land. The nation of Israel was a peoples. They were a tribe. And coincidentally, this is according to the Bible, the Jews were cast out of their land, of Judea. Okay? They were cast out by God. They weren't promised a state of Israel as we know it today. And these people claiming to be Jews now are not real Jews. They're not Hebrews. They're Europeans. They're Slavic people. They're Germanic people who hijacked the culture, hijacked the religion, and convinced the whole rest of the world that they were it. That's a fact. That's a fact. And this has nothing to do with hating Jews, because Israelis are not all Jews. They always preach to us, too, the myth of Iran wanting to kill all Jews. That is never what they said. The Iranians have always said death to Israel, the Zionist state of Israel, the nation of Israel that we see that exists today, that was given to the Israeli people by Great Britain in 1948 in the land of Palestine. And think about it. They were given land by people who didn't own the land. That's a fact. That's a fact. And they convinced the whole world that they were promised by God to have that land. But do you realize that when the modern Jews were looking for land, they originally were looking at other African countries like Algeria, Ethiopia. They even wanted land in Spain to build the state of Israel, or to create the state of Israel. Palestinian land was offered by Great Britain, which at the time, Palestinian land was controlled by, or used to be controlled by, the former Ottoman Empire. They were the conquerors, the colonizers. The former Ottoman Empire is Germany. Think about that. If you go back through history, it's been Germany that's been trying to, or that Nazi Germany is who persecuted the Jews in World War II. And that's funny, because Adolf Hitler's mother was a Jew. Even though he was Austrian, he wasn't even German. He was Austrian. He didn't even fit the description of his so-called master race, blonde hair, blue eyes. But he convinced millions of people that he was sent by whoever their God was to exterminate the Jewish people, not the Hebrews. the modern day Jewish people who weren't actually Jews. It's all a big mess. And the whole world bought the bullshit. And now we got people who've been fighting for the better part of 6,000 years, which is basically a family feud if you follow the Bible. The descendants of Abraham and his illegitimate descendants versus his legitimate descendants. It's all a weird mix of bullshit that has formed this environment that we exist in today. And I understand some of you are going to have a hard time following all this. Some of you are probably going to comment and call me a anti-Semite or anti-Semitic or whatever. Listen, fuck that. Arabs make up the largest Semitic group on the planet. Arabs are Semitic people. Palestinians are Semitic people. So is the state of Israel anti-Semitic? Because they right now are committing genocide against the Palestinians. And it's just crazy that the United States is co-signing that bullshit. They are slaughtering men, women, and children. For what? Hamas is a small radical group that exists within the Palestinian population, unfortunately. And the Palestinian people are suffering because of a small group of idiots who decided to attack another group of idiots, not counting the innocent people who got caught up in the middle on the Israeli side as well. And now we have the full might of the Israeli army slaughtering people who have no way of defending themselves. And now they've opened up another conflict by attacking a whole other country, claiming self-defense. Iran didn't attack Israel. Israel was the aggressor. And now Donald Trump has gotten the United States in the middle of their bullshit. The United States could put a stop to it right now. Stop sending weapons to Israel. Stop sending ammunition to Israel. Shut down the F-35s. You know there's an override code that the United States has for all the F-35 fighters around the world. They can literally shut them down. Just like Elon Musk can shut down any Tesla on the planet. Shut it down. Turn it off. It all gives me a headache every morning. You know, every new news cycle now, it's just ridiculous. You know, the news, a lot of people don't watch the news, don't listen to the news because it's depressing. It can be extremely depressing. But I think people should be aware of what's going on in the world. Because there's so much going on that affects us all. Right now, Donald Trump is leading us on a path to damnation. You think the Iranians are just going to sit back now and not retaliate against Americans? And I'm worried now because my son is about to take a trip to Europe in in a couple of months. I don't want them to go. I mean, I want them to travel and see the world, but the world's too dangerous right now. And Americans are going to be targets all around the world because Donald Trump and his maggots are destroying the fabric of this country. This country's never been great. We're working towards it, though. It's been an experiment since day one. And we've made a lot of progress over the years. Donald Trump has set us back, I think. I think Donald Trump has set us back probably 100 years. Because it's probably going to take that long to fix the damage that him and his cronies have done. I don't know, man. What are we going to do? I know I'm not going to live long enough to see how it all ends. And probably the next generation won't live long enough to see how it all ends either. Not unless it all ends. You know what I mean? Because it could all end at any time. Because you got 2 nuclear powers now attacking a country that is not a nuclear power, but are now going to be even more motivated to become a nuclear power. Think about that. And here the big bad United States is telling them you can never become a nuclear power. But the United States is the only country to ever use nuclear weapons in war. So who the hell is the United States to dictate what other countries can have? The United States says Iran is dangerous, the Ayatollah is dangerous, and as soon as they get a nuclear weapon, they're going to attack Israel. I don't believe that whatsoever. I don't believe that one bit because I know they're not stupid. Because they know that if they were to use a nuclear weapon against Israel, it would mean immediate annihilation of them and all their DNA. But to have the capability for them, I think is valid. Yes, they talk a lot of shit. Last 40 years, they've been saying death to Israel. Not death to the Jewish people. They said death to Israel, the state of Israel. Israelis are just like the pilgrims that came to they came to the New World back in the day. Bunch of slave owners who were running away from slavery. Isn't that ironic? Bunch of slave owners came to the U.S. because they wanted to be free, but they wanted to keep slaves themselves. And for a long time did everything they could to keep those slaves for themselves while running from slavery in Europe. The Constitution was set up and adopted to eliminate the possibility of the United States ever being run by a king or a dictator. Donald Trump and his maggot movement now has destroyed that because they don't abide by the Constitution in any way whatsoever. They don't follow the laws of this country. Even though they call themselves the Law and Order Party, but they're breaking every law in the book to consolidate their power, to hold on to power, to dominate everyone else. I'm rambling now, but it's all It's all chaos. We need to stop the chaos. We need to figure out a way to live together and just get along. Because as different as a lot of us think we are, we're not different at all. I'm your man's Ken Jackson. It's been my Sunday morning rant, or Sunday afternoon now. It's 2:27. Wow. I didn't even realize it was that late. But check it out. Tonight at 9 p.m., I'll be on live. The Ken Jackson Experience. Right here on YouTube, Crazy Baby TV World. Tune in. Join the conversation. Phone lines will be open. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. Won't cost you a dime because I'm not selling shit. And I'll see you then. Peace.